What's going on, guys? How you doing? It's your boy Chris from Signs of Life. Happy new moon, y'all out there. Thank you so much for joining me. I see a lot of friendly faces in the chat. Good to see you all. We are here for 5 tips to help you with your ambient music. I'm really excited about this. It was an intense process putting this all together in about 2 hours, but I believe that I pulled it off pretty well. We're gonna go over 5 tips one by one. I'm gonna reveal them one by one, and we're gonna talk about them rather than giving you guys a full blast of the syllabus so you guys can just like screenshot it and then peace out. We're gonna dive deep into each one of the points that I've created for you today, so we can fully flesh out the things that I have to say to you. So thank you all so much for being here. Synchrotron, Marcus Neely in the house, Iono, Scott Garman, Sounds of Snow, Shine Zacharias, Yelivkovich, Jane Nornek, Midinus. What's up, guys? Alexander's in the house. Good to see you guys. We have a forum going on. I'm currently having a lunar return at this very moment, so I'm feeling the vibe. You know what I'm saying? There's a heavy element of Libra in my natal chart, so this is my kind of vibe right now. So today, like I said, we're gonna go over each tip one by one. But before we do that, I have a huge announcement to make. We have a brand new release on Exosphere coming on October 18th. And this is like 2 heavyweight contenders from Exosphere coming together and collaborating for the very first time, creating something totally new. And I cannot wait for you guys to listen to this. It's I listened to it in its entirety yesterday, and I was like, what? I just, like, a lot of the things that we're gonna talk about today were kind of almost based on my own experience producing music over the past, like, I don't know, 10 years. But then also, like, as I was listening to that record, there were so many things that, like, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what you want to go for. There, right there. These guys are, like I said, top shelf heavyweights that are coming together on Exosphere for the very first time. I know both of them personally, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So again, Exosphere has continually blown me away with the quality. I mean, we may not have as many like releases, like a 1 release a week as some other labels might, but quality over quantity FTW. I'm telling you guys, like, seriously, we put out really the best stuff that we can possibly. Siri on my watch was like, what? You talking to me? No, seriously. Yeah, we put out the best stuff we possibly can. So can't wait for you guys to hear that. We are only 12 subscriptions away from the 1K giveaway. That's the other thing I want to talk about. So make sure, if you guys haven't commented on that video with the number like that you guys are on, the time is running out. We're gonna be there hopefully by the end of the day, if not tomorrow, but it's happening. So anyway, let's get on with the video, shall we? 5 tips to help you with your ambient music. I'm gonna stop the loop and let this thing continue to play. Hopefully this is all gonna work. Technical glitches aside, we are in Mercury retrograde, so if anything goes wrong, my apologies, but here we go. Our first ambient tip, this is kind of, it's October, right? It's kind of a Halloween-y vibe, so I thought, all right, well, I'm just gonna make something a little bit spooky. We got 5 ambient tips. You hear that square wave in there? I put that in at the last second there, so listen to this. Right here. Ready? And that's one of the things that we're gonna talk about today, all right? Anyway, this is such a great track. I love this track. Okay, so let's talk about this. Number 1, don't overcrowd the space. Now, what does this mean? filling material with more material isn't always the right idea, okay? A lot of the times, as I say that, this mix does feel a little bit overcrowded to me, so I'm gonna turn this down. I'm gonna turn this down. And did you hear how as I turn stuff down, all of a sudden you can kind of hear more? And the reason why this is because I'm constantly deleting tracks to make room for other tracks, or at least silencing them. A lot of the times when you add something to a mix or you add something to an ambient music production, if you have reverb on it, reverb inherently is like multiplication algorithm of delay. It's like, it's gonna blow it out into space. So if you have something that's like kind of small, if you put reverb on it, especially like a large reverb, it's gonna multiply that sound. So you don't want to overcrowd the space by adding too many elements. And as I say this, I'm trying to talk over my own music, but you guys get the point, right? I'm gonna turn all of it down. Let's turn all of it down. All right? So, if you add too many things to a mix, it's gonna sound muddy. And when it starts to sound muddy, that's when you have elements that aren't allowed to poke through because the frequency spectrum that they live in is already filled with reverb or whatever else it is. So try to think minimally, okay? And let's go back to the track. Try to think minimally, because in essence, what you're doing is you're putting textures together and then you're combining them through different uses of effects. Now, as you guys know, I use these 3 send effects. I have 3 send effects always on lock. I have a delay, I have 2 reverbs, that's it. But those are all coming together within the glue of that one reverb. And that reverb could be any reverb that you want. It could be a hardware reverb. It could be, your Valhalla. It could be your whatever it is. It could be an internal reverb to your own DAW. But a lot of the times, I hear a lot of music out there, and a lot of times when people submit music to me, or they're like, here's a track that I made, it's too crowded, and I can't really hear anything because there's too much going on. Now, like I said, one way to remedy that is to stick to basic elements and allow those elements to expand on their own. Okay? And we're gonna get into more tips as we go along, but just think about this as we move forward in this tips video, all right? If you're overcrowding your space, you're not allowing all your elements to breathe. However, if you use large reverbs like I do, which is one of the tricks to my music, then you're gonna wanna be extra careful what you add to your mix because it's going to multiply, okay? Now that's a good point to lead into our next point, all right? So now we're gonna flip over, check this out. I got this all planned out. I got this all planned out. So we're gonna flip scenes, and now we're gonna talk about our second point. Hey! Yes. So, using harmonic content to add interest to your sound design. Now this is a big one, all right? This is a really big one. What does this even mean? Harmonic content to add interest to your sound design. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Of this track. A little too intense, all right? So, when you're designing sounds from a synthesis-based level, harmonic content to me means you're enhancing these waveforms with like other stuff, okay? And you're developing these waveforms that have like either FM or unison or, I mean, even designing sounds with rich harmonic content enhances the overall quality, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna get multiplied by that reverb, and that harmonic content is going to spread out all over the mix. Now that's actually a good thing if you think about the first point that we made, which was don't overcrowd it. So if you have a really interesting sound, you could fill an entire section of a song with that one sound just by adding good content. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I'm designing sounds, say on the Hydrasynth, I'm using the mutants on these otherwise basic waveforms to bring them to life. I'm using the wave stack, I'm using unison, I'm using the FM from other oscillators. And what that's doing is it's hitting the reverb, but it's hitting the reverb and it's multiplying, and therefore it's creating this like sound field that has a never-ending interest to the mind because it's something that's interesting. Now, another way to do this is by using a small amount of pitch bend to your sound. A small, just like the smallest amount of pitch to a sound can really bring it to life. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Why does my Hydrasynth sound so much better? And why am I now reaching for Hydra more than any other tool in my arsenal? Because Hydra to me sounds like an instrument. It has rich harmonic content that I can latch onto and I go, that's the sound. That's what I want. Okay? Have you guys heard about this new Waldorf M synthesizer? I heard somebody play it yesterday on KVR and I was like, damn, that is a good quality synthesizer. Yeah, it's $2,500, but like that was like, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? You can do that with Serum and Vital, but it's not easy. Especially when you're talking about the analog filters that are in the Waldorf M. It's like, they were so rich and I was like, ooh, like just juicy punch and like bam, bam, bam. I was like, damn, what could I do with that? Hopefully one day we're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully one day we're gonna find out. This channel certainly deserves it. I mean, we're here. I want, dude, the Waldorf M was crazy. Anyway, the Hydrasynth to me, because it's a less expensive synthesizer, it still sounds like a real instrument. And the way you use it effectively is you use the mutants, you use the pitch bend, you use little subtle modulation tricks. You can do this all over Vital and Serum. Use subtle modulation to bring your sound design to life, okay? And that's what point number 2 is all about, is using rich harmonic content that gets multiplied through your reverbs to bring sounds out. The best possible sound that you can have, okay? That's what it's all about, okay? So that's number 2. And this is something that I've really been thinking a lot about lately because, like I said, I want to make good music. And a lot of this track that you guys are listening to, it started out digital. And as you can see by the waveforms, I'm just going to flip back. Sorry for flipping back and forth. A lot of the waveforms that I'm adding here, hopefully it does right. Nope, wrong scene. All right, a lot of the waveforms that I'm adding down here are all Hydra now. I'm just replacing Hydra sounds with the other sounds that were already in there. This is a track off the new Star Terra record, but I'm like, damn, Hydra sounds way better. Hydra, and I'm just going for it, right? It's not that I want to make a whole album of Hydra synth, but I'm reaching for that content that really excites me as a producer, okay? Sorry about the notes. The notes were up there. Oh my God, the Hydrasynth Deluxe. Hopefully, like I said, one day I'll be able to use that synth. I have no idea. Right now, I'm just putting out the best possible content that I can for you guys so we can all build together. And there's been a lot of chatter about, oh, Signs, you should do a Patreon or do a subscription. We're definitely gonna do that, all right? But right now, you guys are getting masterclass ambient classes for free on YouTube. It's all for the passion and the love, and I'm gonna bring that drive and desire to anything else that I do in life moving forward. I can say that with full confidence. I got your guys' back. It's all good. All right, moving on. Let's keep going. Number 3. All right, hopefully I drove that one home. I'm not saying you guys have to buy a Hydrasynth. I was thinking about doing like why you should buy a Hydrasynth video, but like I was like, you know what, whatever. Like everyone has their own budget that they set. Everyone has their own idea of what good sounds like. So why would I say, oh, you should buy a Hydrosynth if the M exists? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a constant never-ending battle. Oh, what's analog versus digital and blah, 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 blah. The important thing is that you guys utilize the tools that you have to bring out the best sounds that you can. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. I'm not here to say which one's better or whatever. All I'm here to do is to help you guys get better. And hopefully one day achieve whatever musical goal that you guys have, whether that's releasing on Symphera or Exosphere or just releasing your own album and, you know, feeling like I did that. Like that's me. That's my musical mark. Believe me, that was the first goal that I had. I just wanted to make a record. That was it. Anyway, let's catch up with you guys. Hopefully this is all making sense, all right? Sam Ozoko's in the house. Sounds of snow. Good evening, all. It's very easy to take an additive approach to songwriting, just adding layer after layer, but subtracting elements, spacing them out, lowering them, creating transparency, even an overall dense place. That's right, IL Flow, man. You're a wise dude. You're a wise man. Thank you for that. Looking at the DeepMind of the Virus TI. You know, I have a DeepMind right next to me. I have a DeepMind right here. But 9.9 times out of 10, I reach for the Hydrosynth. There's just, I mean, even though the Hydra has 8 voices and DeepMind has 12, I can still do what I want to do in the Hydra way faster than the DeepMind. I still love the DeepMind though. It's a really cool synth. I'm glad they lowered the price because it's now like priced at exactly what you should pay for it. Anyway, seems like we're saving up for. I hope they do a deluxe desktop. That'd be killer. Although I can't imagine myself buying the Hydrosynth again. I'd really want to like work with them. I'd want them to send it to me so I could like try it out myself. So Ashun Sound Machines, if you're listening, your boy Signs of Life is out here. I'm putting it down for y'all Hydra fans. All right, so you guys have been watching number 3 for a long time. Let's talk about number 3, adding extra details. Ambient music is all about discovery and building up a whole track full of extra harmonic details. That's what we talked about in number 2. They can be useful for your listener to enjoy on secondary or several playthroughs. Think about this. You want your listeners to enjoy your music, not only on the first listen, but on the secondary and even several playthroughs of each track. Now, the way to do that is by adding details, periphery details that can be hidden in the mix, so they can discover those details in subsequent playthroughs, okay? Now this is not easy. This is like hard to do, okay? But I'm giving you guys a goal in mind so you guys can try to reach that. So adding more details can involve like adding subtle parts that could be revealed by like taking an EQ and just chopping off just a certain slice, like giving yourself like a little window, or lowering the volume and then only letting that EQ poke that, you know, those sounds out for a little bit and then hiding it back, like tucking it away. You know what I'm saying? Tucking them away, like these little details, but then bringing them out and then hiding them back and layering things. So when people listen, they go, oh damn, or even through delay. Delay is something that, you know, so like if you have something longer that delays over a long period of time, then your listener is able to like go, oh my God, I never heard that before. Even the music that we're listening to right now, like there's things that you could maybe hear the second time, you're like, oh dude, I didn't even realize that was there. Like if I turn this up, listen to that. That low sustain drone on the bottom. You might not have ever heard that. You know what I'm saying? Or even some over here. Listen. That like wailing, and even you can hide it through reverb. You can hide it through like just little micro things. Okay? That's what we're going over here. Micro details, all right? So this can be really effective when you want to invite your listener to listen again. Or you want, and now the thing is that you can add elements that might never make the final mix, all right? So think about details like this. You can add details, and then when it's time to mix, you might have something they're so low level and they're not impactful to the overall composition. You hide them underneath your main elements, which would be your synthesizers and your lead line and your main sequences and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Not too crowded, but just low enough to be like, oh, what is that? And this is a great point because it leads us into point number 4, all right? Hopefully that all made sense. Again, you can hide things with a high pass or low pass EQ. You can hide things in reverb because it multiplies it out and it spaces it out. You can hide it in delay, and you can tuck things away using volume levels to give yourself a little bit more extra like just shelf room. Think of it as multi-layered experiences, all right? I could, for example, this little empty space right here, I could be a, and the, you know what I'm saying? Like something that would, anyway, you guys get the point. All right. Number 4. Hopefully I'm not moving too fast or too slow. Like I said, we're revealing these one by one, so you guys don't just click off the video and peace out. We're having an event. It's an event here. Now this one really excites me because this brings me back to what I was talking about. And this is a point that I've really been thinking about with my own music because I've been designing sounds around this point. And I've been making stuff that is all based on this. And it's like only a couple times in my life have I ever really this is why I'm so excited to be a producer, is because I get to bring imaginary worlds alive. And that's what you should be excited about too, is that when you make music, you should be thinking about a place. And this is point number 4, location is everything. Ambient music is all about building up a sense of environment and space. What I wanted to invite you guys to do is spend time investigating the world that you're creating. Okay, a lot of times people just go at ambient music and they're like, I'm just gonna make music. I wanna make something that sounds good. What about creating an environment intentionally by either writing it down or drawing it or building it up in your own mind? I've been doing the latter. I've been building this place up in my own mind. I can't tell you what that place is, but I have been doing it on my own, and I'm just telling you. The reason why I can't tell you because we haven't released the album yet, so you guys just like, whatever, I can't tell you. Well, it doesn't matter, all right? Once you decide on a location, just go for it. I was really super retrogradish, but yesterday I was working on this postcard for my friend Rusty, who owns Soma FM. I peripherally work for Soma FM, whatever. I'm on the website, you can look it up yourself. Soma FM is the best internet radio station on earth, hands down, no contest. It's all listener supported too. It's freaking amazing. Anyway, I was diving deep in my photos on my phone because I have like months and months and months of photos looking for stuff for this postcard. And you know what I found? I found a hand-drawn drawing from Meridian. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I drew a sketch of the cover of Meridian from Ascendant. But then one of the places in that drawing led me to like Oh yeah, I was even thinking about it back then. We were creating worlds. And that's the other thing about Symphera, and especially Ascendant, is that Ascendant is environmental as much as it is musical. You're creating a world that surrounds you. Celestial was hands down a creation of an environment and a feeling and a vibe. So when this new album comes out on October 18th, think about that too. What environment is this? Where am I? Because once you find a location, you want to explore everything you can about that space and then start designing sounds around it. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything you can. It's like all that space represents, you can design sound, and therefore it'll give the listener a sense of, I'm diving in and I'm learning all that I can about this world through listening and experiencing your music. That is a huge point. And I hope that made sense. Was that when you intentionally create sounds based on a location, whether it's real or not, you are inviting the listener into a world that you are creating. It's huge. All right? Again, we're live streaming this. This is like top level masterclass tip, but I'm just giving it to you guys to like help you bring out something extra. Because if you hand me a piece of music and you say, Chris, here's my new record, the moment I listen to it, I go, where am I? What is this? What emotion does it bring up in me that makes it special? That's what I want to feel. Okay? So imagine if it was me, somebody who's experienced in the field versus somebody who just is listening to your music for the very first time. If you can capture something like that, it's going to be that much more impactful for them when they go and they dive and they want to investigate more, because everyone has very discerning ears, whether they know it or not. And it's like, by discerning, I mean like they can tell whether something's quality or not, whether there's something that's inviting them in or not. It's like, you know what I mean? You're playing with sound. This is like Jedi level stuff. Like it's an invisible art form, music is. Okay? I'm not gonna get too like esoteric or hipster about it, but you know what I mean? Like, if I'm designing sounds for a world, I wanna invite you into that world. A great example of this in sound design, I'm gonna pause the track for a second. Echo Season on Meta, which is available at material.bandcamp.com. I'm gonna pull up Dune here, and I'm gonna bring up a patch that he made for his sound bank, Meta, and it's called Field Artifacts. Where is it? Oh my God, it is so good. All right, was this the meta that we were trying to do? Maybe it's not meta. Ah, proximity report. Ah, yes, okay, pads. And search. There it is. Okay. You hear that? That's one patch, one note from one synth. Okay? Add some delay to it. A little bit of reverb. Take down the filter. Okay? Listen to that. It just gets better. One synth, one patch. Peter Breveny, aka Echo Season. One of the best sound designers I have ever met in my life. But what does this evoke inside of you? It evokes a sense of place. You want to know more about this place. You want to find out what there is to know. The name alone, feel artifacts. You want to dig in. There's something here. Oh, did you hear that? Do I make my point clear? So, anyway. Oh, yeah. So environment is everything, guys. Environment is everything. Build up a world that only you can create. And with that world creation, you'll invite your listener to want to know more. Hope that makes sense. Location is everything. They say that in real estate a lot. However, I'm not really doing real estate here. We're doing ambient music. That's my specialty. Okay. The big reel, number 5. Are you ready? Well, we got there kind of fast. I mean, it only took us like a half an hour, but like I said, you guys have all been watching for a half an hour. So that in itself is a win. Number 5. Spend time developing your own musical language. What does this mean? Developing your own musical language is a personal process. It involves countless hours of trial and error, as well as being honest with yourself about what sounds good or not. Let me pause right there. You have to be honest with yourself. What sounds good to you? Okay? Now, this can be a deeply personal thing, because a lot of the times when you get so far in your own mind about what sounds good, you're thinking, oh, it sounds good, it sounds good, it sounds good. I have been the victim of this time and time again. So believe me, I'm saying this from personal experience. I'm also saying it because I've been there. I've gone through this process several times, and it doesn't get any easier. The thing is, it's a continual process of discovery, and the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. Okay? So the more you try to reach towards something, if you're putting their best honest effort towards it, you will see the results improve. I guarantee it. If you have a specific goal in mind or a specific style, you have to be honest if what you're creating adheres to the standard that the benchmark you are trying to reach is followed. Does that make sense? If I'm trying to make music as good as Echo Season, which I often do, I'm being completely 100% honest with you. If I try and it doesn't adhere to his standard, I will scrap it and I will start over. I will, because it means that much to me to try to reach higher levels of this. Okay? I often talk about this in my own professional life. I've been a guitar teacher for the past 20 years. And I'm trying to make ambient music my full-time job so I can give you guys more content. That's ultimately my ultimate goal. We're not there yet, but we're getting there, right? Together. You guys are transforming me, I'm transforming you. It's all just a reciprocal relationship. It's a beautiful thing. But I see this in my own profession. I see students who they get good, and then they reach a point where they go, the incremental values start to click in, and they go, am I getting better? I can't really reach any higher, but every once in a while, a little new glimmer of hope comes in. And so it's almost like a slope comes up, and you get really good really fast, and then it starts to tail off. And you might even plateau and say, I can't get any better. But then you keep going and you feel like, oh, maybe I'm getting worse. No. And then you dip up, and it's like the ascent just keeps on going. So you do have to be honest with yourself. However, like a Capricorn, you can't give up the climb. You have to keep going. That's easy to like put your mind around. What's hard is being honest with yourself. Is this good or not? And what is it that makes that? What is it that makes that benchmark so good? What does it make that makes AES Dana's music so good? What is it that Echo Season does that really speaks to your heart? You got to be honest with yourself. You have to dive in super deep to his music to understand how he got there. Because I know from personally knowing the guy, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's like, the guy is just like super honest. He'll tell you everything you need to know. Join our Discord. He just like rattles off info the way it should be. Like it's free, because information should be free. And that's one of the reasons why I do this channel, is because it should be free. You know what I'm saying? It should be free, and you should support those who are giving the information away, or you should support those who are like Solar Fields. Cam and I were talking about this. Venus here and I were talking about this the other day. Like, are you ever gonna be as good as Solar Fields? Probably not. Probably not. However, it's kind of important to listen to Solar Fields with like a microscope. You know what I'm saying? You listen to his album with like, wait a minute, how many what is it that makes is it the bass lines that make it so good? Is it the quality of the synthesizers? I mean, he releases like pictures of his studio on Instagram and all this other kind of stuff. And like, he doesn't tell you how to make the music, but he shows you what he's using. You know what I'm saying? At least there's heroes like that in today's world. I've always wondered how AES Dana does it. I've always wondered how Vincent does it. Now he's mastered my music before. He knows who I am. I know who he is. My music has crossed his earlobes many times, but he never shares his stuff. He doesn't share how he does it. However, when I listen to his music, I'm trying to understand how he does it. You can do this. You got this. That's why I put "you got this" at the end of it, because you guys can do this. Do you hear that? This is MIDI news. Shout out to Jay Nornak in the chat. This is MIDI news. And yesterday I was creating almost like a sentient, like it was like, I created something in MIDI. This is what I created in MIDI news yesterday. I figured out how to make a pad that continually generated and evolved. And this is what it looks like. I mean, I could draw this by hand, but I let MIDI news do it. I just let MIDI news do the work, and I just let it happen. That right there is a sequence generated in MIDI news. MIDI news has completely transformed the way I work. It is amazing how much I'm like on board. Like the doctrine is set. Like I'm in. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So the reason why I say this is because you will continually climb and get better. You will find new ways to do things. You will find there'll always be, the other thing to not get caught up in too is is trying to buy your way into it. You don't have to buy your way into it. But you can make incremental progress through gathering more tools for your trade, more information. That's why this channel is here. And new tools. You know what I'm saying? New skills. Just be really honest. It's up to you how far you want to take it, I know. It's great. I'm having the time of my life. Anyway, let's go back to our syllabus and wrap up that portion of the show. We have a record number of people watching at the same time. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, 5 ambient tips. Let's go over them all. Number 1, don't overcrowd the space. If you overcrowd too many things in your mix, especially when adding tons of reverb, you will lose that sense and the quality and the textural elements that you're trying to present. And give your mix enough room that you guys can all like fit in. Like everything's got to fit inside of that one sound field. You only have 25,000 K. That's it. That's all you got. So don't overcrowd the whole mix with something that's going to take up all 25,000. Use harmonic content to add interest to your sound design, okay? A blanketed simple answer right now is I use Hydrasynth for almost everything. But that doesn't matter. You don't need Hydrasynth to make it all. Like I said, the Waldorf M now exists. That's probably a better synthesizer in some respects. Hydra can do things that the Waldorf M can do, but Hydra is, you know, $2,000 less. It's just a matter of like what you got. Use what you got. You can do stuff in Vital that you can't do on Hydrasynth. You know what I'm saying? Period. So, using harmonic content, FM synthesis is so amazing. I was sleeping on FM for years, and now I've woken up to it, and I'm like, damn, like, okay. FM, perfect. Great use of it. I can teach you guys how to use FM, but Venus Theory has like 10 videos on it. Go watch his videos. You know, it's so funny. I was thinking about this. This is total retrograde thought. The first time I ever like heard of Venus Theory was through Dune. I was like, who is this guy? Because he was on the Dune. What's the hell? That was his name? Synapse. He was on the Synapse website, and he was doing his thing, and I'm like, who is this guy? Anyway, that's how I met Cameron. So, let's go back. So using simple modulation can also be a way to add harmonic content, right? You can use effects, but careful use of effects. You know what I'm saying? Too much effects and it just sound like new age. Don't go there. You don't want to go there. Don't want to go there, all right? That's the other thing we haven't even talked about is like, what is the line? Where is the line between ambient and new age? And if you want somebody who's in the field, I do this for a living, what is the line? You're listening to it. You are the line between ambient and new age. You, okay? Because you're the only one who's gonna decide what direction am I going with this? Where is it going? What is the vibe? What is everything about it that makes it ambient? And therefore we as collective individuals can decide. Collective individuals is kind of a, whatever, misnomer, whatever. It doesn't make sense, but you guys understand what I'm saying. As a group and individually, we can come together and find out what ambient is. The music that you are listening to is my own. I created this music. I consider it ambient music with purpose and intention. Therefore, it is ambient. Okay? Cool. Now, number 3. Adding more details And adding extra harmonic details can be useful for your listeners to enjoy on a secondary and several playthroughs. We went over that. Periphery details can be hidden using EQ, or simply lowering the volume of those details and putting them behind more other prominent elements in your mix. Okay? Location is everything. Ambient music is all about building up a sense of environment and space. Spend time investigating the world that you are creating, either by writing it down, drawing, or building it up in your own mind. Once you guys decide on a location, this is for number 4, just go there. As Don always says, pick a vector and go. Vector meaning straight line. Find out everything there is to know about that space. Start designing sounds around it. All right? Developing your own music is a personal process. It involves countless hours of trial and error, as well as being honest with yourself about what sounds good or not. Okay? Allow yourself time and the grace to continually refine and grow that process until it becomes second nature. You will get better over time. Woo! Let me catch up with you guys. Next level tips and great vibes. Thanks, Signs. Unicorns are the line. When I think of New Age, I think of Steve Hillage for some reason. I don't know why either. Hey, I really like the repetitive arpeggio that comes over every now and then. Sounds really dreamy. That was from Hydrosynth and Minidus. Minidus you can find on Steam. And it is a beautiful, generative ambient music tool. It can also be predictive. You can do whatever the heck you want with it. There's a great video on my channel about what you can do. However, we're gonna go over Minidus. Like, we're gonna bring it up to speed. Like, where are you at with Minidus? We're gonna do further videos like that. But today's video was all about 5 tips to help you guys with your ambient music. All right? Whew. Wow. I really hope that you guys got something out of that. I know that like these 5 tips, I did, you know, I've done 5 tips videos before. I can do them in 1 minute, I can do them in 1 hour. The point is for you guys to go back to the drawing board, okay? And refine what it is that you are working on, and then bring that out into the world. I just want to make that clear. Is that this channel is here for you guys to build up your skills, your confidence, and everything that you are. As producers, as individuals, as friends of mine. All right? Woo! So close. If you guys haven't entered that sub giveaway, do it now. Yeah. Sleep Twitch, you missed the whole video. You gotta rewind. That's all right. Listen, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet because I feel like what I've said here is potent enough that you guys can latch onto it, and it's gonna be a video that you guys can continually come back to if you need to. Like, oh, what are those tip signs I'm saying? Boom, rewind the video, watch it again. 11 subs away from 1,000. If you don't comment on the video, you're not gonna win. You gotta comment on that video. I'm probably gonna draw the winner tomorrow. I'm probably gonna draw the winner tomorrow, all right? You guys have been great. I'm really happy, and I just wanna, before we even get to the 1,000 mark, it doesn't really, I mean, it's just a line in the sand. It doesn't really have any significance on my life. You know, we're not gonna make any money on this channel for years, but it doesn't matter. The point is that we're building a community and a network that we are building and growing together. We started this from the ground up on March 21st, 2021, and now look where we are. New Moon and Libra coming in. We started in Aries season and now we're in Libra season and we're already 1,000. That's how cycles work. Gentlemen, that's how cycles work. You start with the intention of something and you build it and you keep sticking to that intention and you never know what's possible until you finally just do the work, Virgo. You do the work. So spend time doing the work. Spend time investigating the worlds that you want to create. Spend time designing the sounds around those worlds and bring those worlds to life. And then when you're done, send them to me. We have a Discord going on. You guys can join our community. We got so many things to look forward to. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for all the support you show me. This channel, like I said, has built up so much confidence in me as a producer, as an instructor, as a human being. Now we're here, and I'm honored. As always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. My name is Chris from Science of Life. It has been my pleasure. I wish you all a wonderful new moon and a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys at 1,000. Until next time. Have a good one, my friends. I'll see you on the other side.